Alright, so we're going to set up our picture for alchemy here. So this is the picture I chose. Notice that I have tilted it in GIMP because it wasn't perfectly up and down before, it wasn't perfectly vertical. So I also have used a color scheme that I got off Color Scheme Design over here that I'm going to work from. So in order to set this up, a couple things. Up at the top, we want to set our style to shape. We want to set up our colors. So if I click on my first one here, you can go to the eyedropper, and I can actually come in over here. So I'm going to use the blue and green for the skin. I'm going to use the orange for like the hair and the hat and some accents and things like that. And I want to have a dark color, which I'm going to choose for the dark blue. And I want this to be darker than this actually is. So I'm going to go over and click on the color thing here. And I actually want this to be a darker blue than that. So I'm going to come down really, really dark. I want that to be dark. And then the other one, I'm going to use my eyedropper, and I'm going to choose a light green. Okay, now it changed my background to light green. Don't worry about that, it's not a big deal. Now, next thing, create is on shapes, that's fine. Effects, I want to have gradient, and I want to have mirror. And I'm going to set this up by going to where it says move at the top. Should already be on horizontal. Go to move, and you can see that I get a like a bullseye arrow, and I'm going to set this thing up in the middle, like so. Now one thing you're going to do is you're going to work from one side of the face. So if I look at this, I'm either going to work from the left side, and I'm looking for lights and shadows, so I've got really dark shadows through here, dark shadows through here, shadow here, shadow here, shadow here, good ones in the hat, that's fine. If I look at the right, it's not bad. I've got some dark shadows in the hat, I've got some dark shadows here in the neck, that'd be good, under the nose, but this is really not so clear. So I'm going to work from the left. And it doesn't matter which side I work from as far as left or right, as long as the shadows are good, because we're going to make a mirror image. So I'm going to start out with my darks. So I'm going to go to my dark color here, and I'm going to start drawing in these dark areas. Now notice that the brush goes from completely solid to completely clear within the brush stroke. So I'm going to fill in these dark areas here. And I kind of like to work from the middle out. I like that, the way the texture works. And don't worry if you get some stuff that's off center a little bit or off a little bit. It's going to happen. Don't panic. You know, we're just got to fill it in later. You can paint over stuff, it's no big deal. So I'm going to do the shadow under his nose. And here's a cool trick for lips. Start in the middle, click, hold, go up, and then trace the outline of the lip. Might do that twice. And then I'm going to do the bottom one. Bam. Alright, there we go. These dark sections down here. Dark sections for his chin. And as you can see, it's working on both sides. And this side isn't matching up completely. Don't worry about it, because in the end, it's going to be a perfectly balanced face because we're working from mirror image. Not a big deal. So I'll go here. Do some darks in here. I know these are kind of hard to see because the blue is so dark, but that's alright, I want it to be dark. I'm going to do these little things off here off his hat. And do the neck. Looks like he's got a shirt here, so I'm going to make that darker because this shirt's darker than the shirt behind it. So just to have some variety there, I'm going to make that shirt that's nice and dark. And it's important that you do your darkest and lightest areas first, because it's going to cover up the photograph, and we can join the middle stuff in later. That's not so bad. But we want to get the darker areas and the lighter areas defined right away. Okay, so dark areas in the hat. And I'm working from the outside in because you always want to work the dark and light colors towards each other. Because the brush stroke gets less solid in the middle. I'll leave this dark out here. Do this one in the center, that's fine. And I've got most of my darks blocked in pretty well. That's looking good. Do a couple creases here in the forehead. We'll have to work to hold on to these later on, but that's alright. If I put him in now, we'll be able to see him pretty well. A little bit later on. Maybe do a couple on his face here too. Alright, so there are my darks. I'm going to pause it here.